for you guys to understand. Those of you who have been to your GP, your family practice physician, you've heard us talk about testosterone replacement. You've got some guy that you see when you get a snotty nose and stuff, and you went to him and you said, I think my testosterone's low. I think I want to try some testosterone. And what he's going to say is, well, let's take let's do your labs and we'll draw blood and see where you are. And they do that, and then he calls you on the phone 2 or 3 days later and says, well, we pulled your testosterone numbers, and your total testosterone is like 315. So that puts you within the reference range of normal. So you're normal. So you're not really eligible, for testosterone replacement therapy because your numbers are blah, blah, blah. Now, this is what will happen 99.98% of the time when you talk to a family practice physician, because they don't know anything about this. All right? And we talked to Keith Nichols about this too, about the tyranny of the reference range. The reference range is a lab value that the manufacturers of the testing equipment apply to whatever parameter they are measuring with the test. There's a reference range for all these values. Reference range for total cholesterol and CPK and AST and all these other values that are measured on a standard panel. There's a reference range for testosterone. The reference range for testosterone, as I understand it, is an average of the reference of the testosterone totals of about 500 guys. It's an average. It is not optimal anything. It is average. And if you want to be within the averages, that's real easy to be, But you didn't go to the doctor because you wanted to be average. Again, you went to the doctor because you are sensing that something is wrong. And as a result of that, if he applies the analysis of average to you, then you're not going to get any help from the guy. And I'm telling you, it's a waste of time to go to your GP, or for that matter, an endocrinologist, if you've got an endocrinologist in mind. If you go to an endocrinologists deal with diabetes. That's what they do. And if you go to an individual such as this for help with things that should be taken care of by a hormone optimization specialist like Dr. Wittmer, then you are wasting your time. And I'm sure, Mike, you've got some stories.
Oh
God.
Rip, every day I get this, almost exactly what you said. I'll give you an extreme example. It makes me very sad because these are people's lives and marriages and relationships. So this is a guy who didn't show up, and I spent an hour with people on the first visit consultation, and it aggravates me because I got work to do. I could do something else, but we could have seen somebody. This guy just didn't show up, didn't call, didn't cancel. It happens. 2 weeks later, a woman calls, and he will be there. And we were laughing. The medical assistant that took the call, she's like, yeah, we already know this story.
Yeah.
This guy, he's 45. He's starting to slow down. She probably thinks he's having an affair. She's not happy. Well, when
he wishes he was having an affair.
Well, she's not seeing any action.
He wishes he was interested enough to have an affair.
Oh, well, when they showed up, I walked by. I could kind of see through the hallway into the waiting room, and This was a young guy. As it turned out, he was 26 years old, and this was his girlfriend, and she was wearing a yellow cocktail dress at 2 o'clock in a suburb of Creve Coeur, Missouri. And when we sit down at a table, and I've got a screen up with their labs and everything, and she was just, looking at me and sitting right across, looking me right in the eye. I'm looking at her, and I'm back then I was 64, and I'm thinking, you're a 64-year-old professional. Shut up, right? Because you know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, yeah, I know it's not you. It's not you.
No, the problem is not her.
No. So here's the guy sitting next to her. So I look over to him. I say, okay, so what's up, man? And of course, that's what's not up. But, and this was a guy, he lifted. He was a pretty thick guy. He was a little doughy, but I could tell that, well, this guy lifts. And he said, I've always been in shape. I work out. Last 2 years, my lifts are down, my strength's down. I'm tired all the time. I've gained about 15 pounds, but it's all fat. And she's just glaring at him. And he finally says, and I have no sex drive. She looks back at me, and I'm looking at her and I'm looking at him. This guy had gone to his GP, and his testosterone was 255. The range for Quest, and you alluded to it, is 250 to 1100. The doctor
and they
told
keep changing it down too.
Well,
yes.
Yeah, insurance companies are behind that, I'm sure.
Yes.
So the doctor told him, and this is really upsetting, he told him that he was fine, that he was within the normal range, that he did not need testosterone, that he was depressed, and he offered him an antidepressant.
Yes, in fact, here we are.
So, I'm sure he went back to tell his girlfriend, and I can only imagine that she just probably blew a gasket. And she's like, yeah, you're not depressed, you asshole. You're dating me. Guys dating me are thrilled. They're not depressed. This girl was very.
So this girl was hot, right?
Well, if she wanted a date, she would have had one before she hit the parking lot walking out of our office building.
Right. One of those.
Here she was sitting with this guy. So I looked at them, and I tell almost everybody that they're not sick. We're getting older and we're slowing down. This is an option. It's an elective. But when I look at a 26-year-old guy, and there's plenty of others that would, have similar stories, and that's not healthy.
No, it's not. When you're 26.
No.
God, I remember being 26.
Yeah.
I was a dangerous motherfucker when I was 26. I'm telling you.